Welcome to Brojo Builds. Take this as kind of like a blog type vlog type video. A lot has happened while making this video. I started to, thought this was just gonna be a simple converter swap type deal, and as I went to change the converter, as you'll see, the case had some damage to it, and it proceeded to get worse. And at this point, the transmission is back in the car, and with the new converter, it has a lot more stall. It stalls up to 6600, so the target was 68. It's a little bit lower, but I think we'll be fine. It's a good starting point to try it out, even though I have literally 1 weekend left to try this out. That's another case. So not in this video, but what I'll be attempting to do is swapping the guts out of that transmission case into this case. And right now I just need to press the springs there and take the reverse piston out. I have the tool here on the floor. I'm gonna bring it to a buddy of mine's machine shop and put it in the tank, clean her up, and then take it from there. So please like, share, and subscribe. I want to thank Tony Apuzzo from Apuzzo Racing Transmission. He builds some of the baddest transmissions out there right now, and some of the fastest cars, and won many races. A lot of racers have won races with his transmissions. He's helped me along with the transmission that's in the car, trying to make it work, but it just swapped to a case. I probably should have did this from the beginning, and I would have been fine. So that's what we're gonna be doing, and yeah, like, share, and subscribe. All right, for me, little late start to my day because UPS sucks. At least the UPS guy that delivers to my house is always messed up. There was issues getting things delivered. Anyway, enough of that. Converter's here, and I got to first fix that hole. So we're gonna helicoil it and then send it. So let me get to drilling. So the helicoil kit, I don't know if it will focus. Not focusing. So the helicoil tap actually will tell you what size drill bit to use. It's 21/64, but I'm gonna use this little bit. Oh, drop the helicoil. I'm gonna use this smaller drill bit first, and then I use the right side drill bit first just to clean out the hole, because I can see some debris in the hole. So I'll clear out the debris out of that hole first, and then I'll proceed to drill it. So let me do that now. Again, not enough hands, so use your imagination. Well, this sucks. I just started drilling it, and the whole piece just flaked off. So that means it was about to break off anyway. So, not ideal. I'm gonna probably still drill it. I'm gonna use a smaller drill and just keep working it. I wanna see if I can put the helicoil further back, and then just clean up any of the crumbs that may come out of the hole, and go from there. Use a longer bolt. The lug, you can feel it's actually pretty deep, so at least it has that going for it. Let me see what I can do here. So drill the hole. I just kept going bigger little by little, and shoved some paper towels in there so I didn't get any aluminum in there. It looks fairly clean. I'll wipe it down real quick. But it looks like I got the hole made. Now I'll tap it and I'll see how this looks. It's gonna be monstrosity. But hopefully, if I put the helicoil deep enough, we might be fine, at least temporarily. So this is what it looks like. Yeah, not the best for sure. We'll see how far the helicoil goes in there and how well it sits. So that's where the helicoil ended up. Half of it is exposed, about probably 2/3 of it is exposed, and a third of it is in there. But it feels pretty tight. And make sure I'm under pressure. Let's see if we get it started. Good grief. Let me see. So I threaded it in with a socket, and the nut will go in. I'm just gonna put it in snug and with some goop and leave it at that. And I'll make sure the outside ones get, all the other ones get extra foot-pound or two to help make up the difference. But it looks like it will hold up. I'm not even gonna break the tang that's in there, because there's a passageway in the back, and I don't believe it's an oil passageway, but just in case, I'll just leave it there. It'd be fine. So now I'll slide the pump in and start buttoning this thing back together. Now I'll show you the converter that's going in there. That'll be more excitement. Unfortunately, no racing for me. The pump gasket, the one that seals the transmission, has a tear in it, and I probably could just bolt it on and it'd be fine. It is on the higher pump spot on the pump, but my luck is gonna start leaking, and I'd rather not. I'd rather have it right when we put it together, not have any pressure issues or anything like that. So I probably won't have a gasket till Monday, so maybe the following weekend we do some racing. So the nets, I probably all stitch this all together. So next time you see me, I'm be putting the converter into the transmission, pump into the transmission, converter in the transmission, and the transmission back. It's been a few days and I've been through a whole lot since my last recording. Between broken seals on the pump, putting the pump back in, having to get new seals thanks to Tony Apuzzo, Apuzzo's Racing Transmission. You've probably seen his stickers around. He builds transmissions for some of the fastest stuff around, and he is the bomb. He kind of saved me a couple times so far. And he's definitely the best transmission guy out there, hands down. If you need a transmission and you're here in the Northeast or anywhere around, contact Tony. He'll take care of you. I'll post his link in the description. But yeah, this has been a little bit more than I anticipated and asked for. My father was able to help me out, being that I worked second shift. He took care of putting the pump back in after I gave him the seals, went to work, and he took care of the transmission. So I just picked it up today and adjusted the band. I didn't record any of that. Honestly, I was so focused. I slipped, that all slipped my mind. But right now the transmission is on the jack. I got a converter here that I'm gonna fill with fluid, and we're gonna start slapping things together. So another day has gone by in this converter, but we're at the end of it. Transmission's in, all the bolts are caught. I need to just tighten up the cross member at this point, put the dry shaft in, put the exhaust back on it, and converter bolts. I saved the converter for last, and put some fluid in it. So hopefully on the hour I'll have all this back together, and you know, have it, turn it on and see how everything goes. On this video, removing this piston from this case, and going to prepare this case to get before it gets cleaned. There's a couple of holes I need to drill for the trans brake on this, and I just bring it along for the ride for this one. Something small and quick, easy. So those of you that are new to my channel may not know that I play with transmission as well. I want to consider myself a master, but I'm not afraid. I used to do some transmissions for customers, but at this point in time, I prefer, you know, doing my engine stuff. Anyway, back to this Power Glide. So right now, I have to remove this lock ring right here, and then I'll be able to take this piston and springs out. You need a special tool or make a tool to compress this spring. So without compressing the spring, this job is like not gonna happen. So I have this tool here, is made specifically for that. You put pressure like that, locked into place, and now I want to reach in there with these pair of pliers and take the ring out. I'm not gonna be able to hold my phone and do this at the same time, but as you can imagine here, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do this with holding one hand. Oh, did it with one hand. Look at that. So now that this ring is out, now I release the piston and all this will come out. That back piston might need some air to push it out. We'll see. It might need some more motivation, being that it's probably sitting outside in the water for a little while. So you blow air down this port right here, and the piston moves, and you blow the piston out from here. So now this is out, and now I can start drilling. I have to drill a few holes for the trans brake. Now this is for TSR shift kit. Every shift kit is gonna have its own not shift kit, trans brake. Every trans brake may or may not have different instructions depending on your case. This is a factory case. Aftermarket is way better. Some of the aftermarket cases you even have to modify, but this one being a factory case, you have to do some modifications. And so make sure you follow the instructions on your trans brake. This is again for the TSR trans brake valve body. The first step is I'm going to drill this hole straight through. So this hole is going to get drilled straight through all the way into the case, a 1/4 inch. with a 1/4 inch drill bit. So not this hole right here. So again, this one I'm not even attempt with one hand. I'm gonna drill it, and we'll come back. So now that's the first hole, and then now we're gonna have to drill 2 more holes, and that's it. Now that that hole is drilled, on this side we're gonna drill 3/8, but only about a 1/2 inch in. So there's a crossing point that you kind of could see here. You see on the other side there's a hole that intersects. So you kind of want to drill until you reach that intersection hole. You don't want to drill all the way through. You just want to drill right to that intersection point. So you can see there now, the hole's bigger and is right into that intersection point. And the next hole I'm going to drill is from the other side, intersecting with that hole, making sure not to go too far. So you don't want to go too far in that way, and you don't want to go too far in from the other direction. So we flip the case this way. You smash it against the garage for good measure, and then you'll drill the corresponding hole that intersects with that hole. So it'll be right this one. So you're gonna drill in there until you intersect. Whoop. All right, so the hole is drilled and the hole is intersecting the way it's supposed to, and that's all you need to do to the case. You drill 3 holes, a 1/4 inch hole this way, 3/8 hole back the other way, and intersect it with this 3/8 hole, and the case is done. So this case is in a lot better shape than my other one. All the holes, threaded holes are there, all the threads are there. I just need to chase them real quick, but everything looks in far better shape than the other case. So the only thing you have to do to complete the shift kit, which is already done on the other piston, so I don't really have to show this or do this to this one. One, you cut this piston down so you have a little bit more clearance on this pack. You go with 75 to 100 thou. Mine in that car and the transmission that's in the Nova now is set up a little tighter than that. I think it's set up at like 50 thou. And the problem with that is, I think that's why that car reacts so quick on the brake. It's hard for me to cut. I've cut 2 perfect lights with that, with this transmission in this car, and I'm always on the bottom, half of the tree, which is great. But I do go red often because I have to look at the bulb, see it flash, and then react. Like, I have to look, see the bulb, look at it, and then let go. And the car bottom side 050 and less lights all the time. If I react as soon as I see it flash, it goes red. I go 050, 060 red consistently. So on approach 400 tree, the way it's set up, I should be able to cut some killer lights. I have that same transmission was inside the Chevette, and on a Pro 500 tree, I've been on the bottom side of the tree. On a Pro 400 tree, I've been as good as 020. And I've only been on a Pro 400 tree twice in my life. So it reacts quick. So again, they recommend for a full tree 75 to 100 thou. I don't have a lathe here, so I'm not gonna cut it down or source thinner steels. I'm just gonna put it together as is it's probably, like I said, gonna be a little bit on the tight side. It's gonna react a little bit faster than you want. So I went on a tangent there. So you want to cut the piston down a little bit so that you could have more clearance, and then you're gonna drill a 1/16 hole that is gonna be pointed toward the top of the case. And it'll be, I'll post an image of how it's supposed to look like, but it'll be up here and it'll go right down to the seal, or to the back. And that's it. Matter of fact, let me correct myself here. So to clarify what I said, the 1/16 hole will be drilled straight through into the back, and it will allow any pressure in the back of the case to be relieved through there. So, and you want that bleed hole point up in the case. That, and you're gonna change the springs that will be there. It'll be a little bit heavier spring that you'll put on there. And inside the transmission, that's it. You replace the modulator with the trans brake solenoid, and you wire that up, and you have yourself a trans brake deal. Yeah, trans brake just set up on the Power Glide for the most part isn't too difficult. So the case is all done. I did it outside on a wooden stump. So if I could do it on a wooden stump, you could do it in your, no problem. So I'll end this here. I'll bring the case right now to get cleaned up, and then over the weekend, hopefully you'll see a film, so at least some shots of me. My father should be coming to help me, pulling the guts out of this transmission, putting in this transmission, so that hopefully this Sunday, which might be the only last weekend of the year to race, I'll be able to make some passes, or pass, because I really believe that with the new converter, this car is gonna fly. It's gonna fly. Yeah, I think the 9s I've been looking for is right there. So with that being said, this is Bro Joe Builds. Like, share, and subscribe. Hope I was able to share some information with you guys, and help you guys move along. If there's a transmission that I think, if you're new to transmissions, to work on and to learn with, Power Glide. And a good thing with Power Glide, you can put in almost anything. As long as your car is not too heavy, you can run a Power Glide on about anything, and they're probably the cheaper transmissions to build. So that's always great. So like, share, and subscribe, ring the bell. God bless, guys.